This week, we're back with Danville's finest, a Fresno State Bulldog, clutch quarterback who was just selected by the New Orleans Saints in the 2023 NFL Draft, Jake Haener.
This episode of One Star Recruits is brought to you by 500 Level. It's 500level.com for all the best Saints gear in the game. Go grab your Derek Carr merch, your Chris Olave shirts, Sig and Monrovia. Grab your Vladimir Guerrero Montreal Expo shirt. All the best gear in any sport. It's 500level.com. Use the code ONESTAR for 20% off everything on the site. Let's go.
This is Jake Haener. I'm on the One Star Recruit podcast. Who Dat Nation? What's going on?
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast. I'm DK, joined as always with my best friend of 25 years, Rip. We are One Stars. We surround ourselves on this podcast with 5-star athletes, entertainers, teachers, philosophers, everything. Anybody who's 5 stars in this world, we're going to find them. We're going to try to bring them onto this podcast. This week, we're in New Orleans. We go from the West Coast, where Rip and I spent some time. Rip's still in Long Beach with a guy from Northern California, all the way to New Orleans, which happens to be my co-host's favorite city, #1 draft pick city in all of the land, especially for food, partying, and relaxing. Rip's a big New Orleans fan. It's one of those situations here where the New Orleans Saints drafted an individual, I believe it was 127th, who they were going to fill this third string learning quarterback position, which I think is so smart in the NFL. And it's becoming more and more. We're seeing teams really turn and put full emphasis on having that quarterback, call it the Tom Brady effect, call it the Aaron Rodgers effect. Having this position stable on a football team is everything, and having a stable at quarterback, having a good, solid quarterback room. Rip, we saw what happened in San Francisco with the 49ers. They thought they had a situation there. Luckily, they got to pull the next guy up. And because the system is well, because the quarterback room works well, they communicate well. It's like a good marriage. You're able to get 1, 2, and 3, sometimes 4 in a position to be successful. And that's what a good football team does. That's what the Saints are doing, especially drafting a guy like Jake Haener. Rip, got to be one of the better situations this kid could have landed in.
It really is, DK. And those two guys you mentioned, who are both happen to be from Northern California as well, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Tom Brady was a late round pick, and look what happened with him. Aaron Rodgers was an early pick, but he had that year or so to sit behind Brett Favre, which Haener's in the perfect situation because not only is he sitting behind Derek Carr, they got Jameis Winston as the number 2. So if everything goes well in New Orleans, Jake Haener won't play a snap this year in the regular season. He'll just get to sit there and learn from those 2 vets. And you never know what the future holds, man. It's any given Sunday. It's not for long, and you never know, man. Jake Haener could be that starting quarterback down there in NOLA before we know it.
Great draft pick, definitely by the Saints. Always be wary, Rip, of any athlete, especially in the NFL, who plays quarterback or who is a field goal kicker, who's a scratch golfer. Usually when you get scratch golfers at those positions, usually it tends to be a great situation with a very high upside. I don't know how scratch golfing translate, but guess who else is a scratch golfer? Aaron Rodgers, your guy Steph Curry, out of the playoffs. We're going to talk on the second half of the pod, listeners. We're going to break down the Suns' playoff loss and some ideas on what to do this offseason. We'll talk a little bit of Dubs, but Steph Curry, scratch golfer. A lot of pitchers, Rip, scratch golfers. I think it coincides. I wonder if a combine, if they asked that question. I think if we did a little analytics, if we look at scratch golfers and great quarterbacks, I would bet you they would match up a little bit. You think that's silly?
No, I think it's great. I mean, I love these theories. I have the theory that running backs are really good drivers. You have the theory that good quarterbacks are good golfers. And I mean, I don't know about Jameis Winston or Derek Carr, but yeah, Jake Haener might be the best golfer in that quarterback room already. But yeah, to me, man, the most important thing about a quarterback is being smart. And you can tell in this interview that Haener, he had a good upbringing, good education. And he's a smart guy, and it's all that processing information. And I think it was you that said it's like making like 50 decisions in like 6 seconds or 3 seconds. And that's like the life of a quarterback in an NFL game. So I think he's well equipped for that, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Progressions. Yeah, good dude. Good get. We love Fresno State. When was the last time you've been out to the beautiful city of Fresno, Rip?
Shout out to Fresno, the 559. We passed through it on our way to Yosemite last year. We talk about that in this interview a little bit too. And hidden gem outside Fresno is a place called Bravo Farms. It's I believe, off the 99, Highway 99 in California. It's a great stop on a road trip. If you have kids, they have like a petting zoo there. They have a bar, a pizza place. It's an amazing stop. It's actually like a top stop there's one in on the way to Fresno. And then there's one on the way to San Jose, San Francisco off Highway 5. But just a little pro tip for driving in California.
Giving that pro tip, you're not going to throw Anderson's. A lot of people who either love Anderson's pea soup or hate Anderson's pea soup.
No, 5 stars for Anderson's for sure. That they got that traveler special. It's like unlimited pea soup plus salad and in a bread bowl. It's like $15. I mean, all the truck drivers stop there. I think there's 3 locations in the state. Just I wouldn't want to go in the bathroom there, but it's an amazing stop. Anderson's pea soup.
Hey, we have Derek Carr, starting quarterback in New Orleans. He's throwing to Chris Olave, who looks like it's going to be I'm saying it right now, could be the Justin Jefferson of next year. He seemed to have everything put together his rookie season. We love second-year wide receivers. We know the jump usually happens in the second year, which is terrific. Question to me at wide receiver is what do you think we're going to get out of Michael Thomas? I know a lot of fans are talking about that. A lot of people in New Orleans are talking about that. Haven't seen the man. I had a text chat where I believe Michael Thomas was called the Anthony Davis of the NFL. What are your expectations for MT?
Man, that's a tough one. I think the Saints have to treat it like anything they get from him at this point is a bonus. I mean, it would be a miracle if he got back to his old self, but if you can get like 75% of that, he'd still be, a top 20, 30 receiver in the league. And Olave, like you said, man, he looks like he's going to be a star. So if you can get Mike Thomas as a solid number 2, I think you're in good shape.
Rip has it. Well, hey, it's all about having a good succession plan for quarterbacks in the NFL. We think the New Orleans Saints have it. Definitely have an interesting interview. We learn a little bit about the city of Danville, Northern California, big Bay Area country. Enjoy this interview with Jake Haener.
Now joining the One Star Recruits podcast, we have a native of Danville, California, a Fresno State Bulldog, the 127th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, and a guy who doesn't have to round up his height while getting his driver's license at the DMV anymore, New Orleans Saints quarterback Jake Haener. Thanks for hanging out with the One Stars, Jake.
Yeah, guys. Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be here and excited to talk about everything New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. And just off the top there, as a fellow member of the 5'11" club, I'm kind of joking about that DMV thing, but it's also a little bit of, if you know, you measured just under 6 feet tall at the combine. You've been listed at 6'1" a lot. Mm-hmm. Really, people are obsessed with height, especially when it comes to quarterbacks. You're in the NFL now, though, so hopefully nobody cares anymore. Just out of curiosity, though, what does the height say on your driver's license?
I think it says 6 foot. I did measure 6 foot at the Senior Bowl. I've gotten it all over the place. I've gotten 6 foot and a quarter. I've gotten 6 foot. I've gotten 5'11" and 5'8". So I'm somewhere in that ballpark, wherever you want to say, whatever makes you guys happy. I like going right in the middle and just saying 6 foot.
Yep.
I love that. Bottom line is, in the fourth quarter, you throw touchdown passes. So who cares about height, bro?
I hear you.
Let's talk NorCal, man. Monte Vista High School, a great Bay Area high school. Alumni include guys like Bob Myers, Golden State Warriors GM. You got Zach Ernst on our Arizona Cardinals. He's our guy. Now we have a Saints quarterback, Jake Haener. Lots of college and NFL talent coming out of the 925. I'm not going to even talk about De La Salle, but what is life like growing up there? And maybe what's in the water, or what's in the hot tubs in the backyards that's creating all these amazing athletes?
Shoot. I think it's just a testament to the people that, we grow up around and the competition that comes out of here. I think iron sharpens iron, and I've been a product of that and been able to be with a lot of competitive people, a lot of competitive teams that have allowed me to grow and continue to, push myself to limits that I, only dreamed about at one point. So I'm here now, and, it's always nice to be able to kind of look at some of my peers and see how they continue to grow and continue to progress through this journey. And there's another one of my buddies that's on the Atlanta Falcons right now that came out of Monte Vista High School. So we got some dudes.
That's right. Who is that? Let's give him some love.
Nate Landman. He was undrafted free agent last year from Colorado. Made the 53-man roster for him. So did a lot of really good things. Yeah. Nate's a good.
Yeah. I love that, man. I love that. So your draft party was pretty badass. It was
fun.
You got a lot of good friends, man, because they dogpiled you in that pool pretty good. I was a little nervous for your health though, but that was damn fun, man. Did you have that catered? Was that?
Oh yeah, we had it catered. We had some drinks flowing. We were having a good time, just trying to enjoy it. You go through it one time and wanted to do it the right way. Had a lot of good friends and family here. Got to, take a couple dives in the pool, and it had a band rolling. Had the taco company rolling through. So it was fun. It was a great day.
We love the taco trucks in NorCal. Yeah, the crows come through for the parties. It's great. Actually, I remember I used to do a lot of drives from the city up to Discovery Bay, where my in-laws live a little bit. I would drive. Sometimes I drive through that Danville line, and I remember Friday nights. Tell me if this is dumb or not. Maybe true or false. The In-N-Out Burger on San Ramon Valley Road, and I think San Ramon, which is weird, across from that Windmill Produce spot, was the place.
Exactly what you're talking about. Oh. I had some, after Friday night, games, there was kind of Cal High, Monta Vista, San Ramon. Everybody was going to that San Ramon In-N-Out. And I got almost part of it. Trouble. I almost got in some trouble in those Friday nights after games over there.
It's so funny high school kids do that. We went to a Circle K in Tempe where I grew up, and it was an In-N-Out too. That's funny that all three, Cal, De La Salle, and you, if you could go back in that parking lot, there's probably tons of guys across different leagues and gals doing great things. It's really, listeners, it's a great area. What's your order at In-N-Out Burger?
I usually like to do the 3x3, lettuce and tomato only. Sometimes if I want to get some mushrooms, if I want to get some onions on there, I'll do it. But usually just lettuce, tomato, 3x3, call it a day.
Protein, keep that protein right. All right, let's talk New Orleans, brother. Rookie camp starts this week. You're heading out there. You're going to get your first taste of life in NOLA. Have you been before? First question, follow up. It's obviously the best food city. What are you most excited to eat since we're rolling out of In-N-Out Burger?
I've been hearing nonstop about the beignets. Is that how you say it? Beignet.
You nailed it.
I nailed it. Thanks. I've heard nothing but awesome things about them. So I definitely am going to have to try one of those the first weekend I'm out there. But other than that, I went out there for my 30 visit. That was really all that I've been able to experience. I haven't been I've been a West Coast kid for my whole life. So going to the South, I'm going to have to adjust a little bit, and I'm looking forward to it though.
They're going to love you. And in New Orleans, they have a history of loving quarterbacks from the West Coast. It's a perfect landing spot for you. I saw you had a pretty decent golf swing too on your Twitter. What's your handicap golf wise?
I'm a scratch.
Of course you are. Rip, quarterbacks are always great golfers. What's your favorite club in your bag?
I usually want to say my driver, but I got some tweaks done to it. I might have to go with my 3-wood right now.
Only strong golfers, Rip, also say that their drivers and woods are their best clubs, not like me who'll go right to pitching wedge and 7-iron. Dude, I live in Maui. Once you make that change in the years to come, remember this conversation. I would love to host you at Kapalua. I'm fully addicted to golf. It's a crazy sport that has sucked me in. But I will not play with you until I get under a 10 handicap.
Hey, keep working. You got time.
I got to make putts, bro. That's the thing.
That's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. If you start dropping a few putts, you get some momentum, you start making a few better shots, and then boom, you're in it.
It's like free throws, but it's so damn hard. I'm going to get there. We all saw a picture of you rocking that clean Reggie Bush Black Saints jersey with a red backpack that might have been your whole body size.
Yes, it was.
We know Drew Brees was a QB you looked up at, a West Coast guy going to New Orleans. We talked about it. How's it feel just to put on that? I don't even know if you have fully yet, but that Saints jersey is coming. We're going to be rocking the number 14.
I guess they haven't even told me. I just kind of saw it on the official website that I was 14. So I guess I am. I'm going to rock it the best I can and just embrace it, man. I'm excited to be able to get down there. And to me, it doesn't really matter what number I got on. I just want to go and show them I belong and make throws and, show them that I can lead men in that locker room and do everything the right way.
You can, bro. You can. The way that you are in the fourth quarter, the way that you run an offense is why you're drafted, why you're an NFL quarterback. And we appreciate you so much sharing a little bit of insight, man. Friday is when you arrive. We might have to follow up with you in a couple of months to see how that new life is like.
Let me know.
Hey, Jake, we end every interview with the segment we call 1 star to 5 star. We mentioned we're 1 stars. We're trying to get better with advice and tips from every guest we have on this podcast, like yourself. So I want to ask a few questions that run the gamut on a 1 to 5 star scale. Let's say 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest.
Okay.
Your brother Kyle is also an athlete. He played lacrosse at SMU down in Dallas. You
Mm-hmm.
guys are pretty close together in age.
Yeah.
I have 2 boys who are 6 and 4 right now.
Okay.
It's a lot of competition, fighting, and sometimes even a little bit of love gets thrown in there.
Yeah.
What's from someone who lived with a close brother forever, what's the 5 star advice you'd give to a father of 2 young boys?
Oh, no, I mean, I think the biggest thing, and I thought my dad did a really good job of showing both of us that he was super invested in both of our careers and not showing one more love than the other, because, sometimes there's going to be one of them that's better at something and probably has a better chance to play in college or even eventually in the NFL if he's lucky enough to do that, or whatever sport he plays. But I think he let my brother and me pick what we wanted to do. He wasn't trying to sway us one way or the other. He was super supportive of what we wanted to do and was all in about showing each of us that he was going to spend the exact same amount of money to support us and show no special treatment. And I think that allowed us to not be jealous of each other. It allowed us to support each other and root for each other. And, my brother Kyle was super supportive of me and was my biggest fan, and I was his biggest fan. And I felt like it was just a really good dynamic as we went through it.
That is such good advice. You're not even a dad yet, but I love the perspective. Props to Mr. Haener up there in Danville. Also, your mom has been a news anchor for Bay Area Fox affiliate KTVU for 25 years.
Mhm.
We'll have our statistician Winston look into this, but you might be the only NFL player who actually has less Twitter followers than his mom.
Right.
It's you're close. It's a fun fact, and I'm sure you'll pass her pretty soon here. But her job is an awesome one with lots of cool stories and opportunities. What's the 1 star thing about being the son of let's call it a local celebrity, though? And feel free to say that having to answer these kind of questions is the worst part. But what is the 1 star thing about that?
You guys want me to be honest?
Yes, please.
Like, I don't want to just say something just out of pocket here that I'm not allowed to say on the 1 Star podcast.
Anything goes.
I mean, the shitty thing about doing it when I was growing up, everyone said how gorgeous my mom was. I had to hear about it all the time. But I mean, if you're just kind of joking around, once you grow up, it's not a big deal. Your mom's a good looking lady. It only helps you in the long run. But I mean, I guess the 1 star thing was she was always gone when I was growing up, and it was hard on all of us because she would be working from 4 to 1 in the morning or 12:30. And when I got home from school and was doing sports and doing all that, she wasn't ever around. So it put a lot on my dad, and that's just a testament to what he did raising me and my brother. Just, it was him a lot of the time. So we had to go through that, and she did a really good job of being there for us on the weekends and coming to all of our games. But during the week, it was kind of tough growing up because it was kind of us 3 all the time.
She's grinding. I'm going to be honest too. Because you were honest with us when we first booked you. We sent it around to some of our members in the podcast here with us, and the consensus came back was, wow, very good looking mother as well.
Yeah, that's what I always got. But I mean, shoot,
hey,
good genes don't hurt. Good genes don't hurt.
Pass it on down, and I'm Bay Area. That was my news station when I lived in the Bay too. So it all connected real fast as soon as I heard Julie Haener too. It came together real quick. So I think it's super cool. But thank you for being honest with us, man.
Yeah.
We're 4 days out from Mother's Day. You got I don't know if you got an NFL paycheck yet. It's a little quick here, but what's the first?
I haven't signed my contract yet, so I'm still a college kid in my eyes. Shoot.
No, low expectations, Mom. Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year. She'll wait, but every day is Mother's Day in this household. Shoot. They're actually going down to SMU to see my brother graduate. I unfortunately can't be there because I have work, but he graduates on the 12th.
Great Mother's Day gift.
Yeah, so they're going to go celebrate that and enjoy that and go out to a couple good dinners, and I'll be in New Orleans, close by.
Well, congrats to you both. The Northern California, you're still there. It's such a unique place to grow up. Mountains, oceans, forests. You really get it all. Let's do a quick hitter. Let's use a 1 to 5 star scale, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, to kind of just rate these NorCal staples especially for the people down in NOLA that are listening that might want to take a vacation over the winter or something. Let's go Alcatraz. Everyone hears about it. I went out there, and to me it was a little bit overrated. But how do you rate Alcatraz on the 1 to 5 star scale?
Like a 1. I went out there. I mean, you can see pictures of it. It depends what you're into. I mean, if I'm a tourist and I'm trying to go see different things, it's probably very low on my list, to be honest with you. I went out there. I was young though, so I don't know if I could appreciate it as much. You got to go jump on a ferry. You got to go out there. There's not a lot to eat out there, and it's just really go look at cells.
Nailed it. The best thing is the view. He nailed it. It's a 1 for me too. Fisherman's Wharf as a whole is a 1 for me.
Yeah, just kind of, it's just
blah. All right. How about BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit? I think it goes out to Danville. Are you a big BART guy?
That's another 1. I mean, I guess if you're like trying to go to some sporting events or something and you don't want to park and it's close by, you can go park at BART, which is really easy for some people to go just park at, and then you can just take the BART over to whatever stadium you got to get to. And I think, it's just like any subway service or transportation service that you're trying to get on. If it's convenient and it's easy and it takes you where you want to get to, then you could really take it all over the Bay Area.
Speaking of, let's go to we just got word that the A's are moving to Vegas probably in the next year or so, the next couple of years. How about that Oakland Alameda County Coliseum with the clogged toilets? Is that on a 1 to 5 star scale?
You're just giving me all the bottom feeders right now. I mean, shoot, they took the best parts out of the Bay. They took the Raiders, they took the Warriors out of Oakland. They're in San Francisco now, but and then the A's are leaving too. So
it's sad to see.
It is kind of sad to see. I just think there was a lot of really passionate fans over here that love to root for everybody in the area, and kind of sucks to see him go.
All right, well, let's end this on a high note, because a little bit closer to Fresno, but Yosemite National Park, I'm sure it was a staple growing up. I mean, tell the people down in New Orleans that what's a must see at Yosemite, and it's
definitely. To be honest with you guys, I don't want to burst your bubble. I've never been there.
What?
Wow!
I'll cut this part out.
I've never been there before, but I want to go. I've got plenty of friends and family members that have gone over there, or family like friends that have gone over there, and they talk about how awesome it is to see it and be around it. But unfortunately, I've never had the time to go over there. And it's close to Fresno. Like I should have tried to take the time or a weekend to go out there. It's super good, though.
You served him up 4 1-star fire questions. Jake, give us a 5-star pizza place at least.
Anesso Pizzeria in Fresno.
There we go.
Whoever in Fresno, which I'm not sure any of you people are going to be in Fresno. Anesso.
Let's keep it on Fresno. The last one, we got to get something in for the Bulldogs fans. The Central Valley, it can get super hot. You aren't always in the national spotlight, but it's a super beautiful campus with great fans up there. What would be your recruiting pitch for a high school quarterback considering Fresno State for college?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me, if I was going back and telling 17-year-old Jake how to navigate recruiting, it's really easy to navigate the NIL. Well, actually, I wasn't even having the NIL thing.
Yeah.
NIL is definitely something that's going to be hard for some of these kind of mid 3-star, which I was mid 3-star to, going into low 4-star area to navigate, because I think they can lure you in with money and bring you to situations that might not be beneficial for your future, but create really good depth for that team. But I would say just going into a system that, your goal is to go to the NFL, you want to go somewhere where your fit is perfect, not for, the campus, not for the surrounding whatever. You want to get a quality education, but if you're going to Fresno State, you want to go put really good tape on. And that was my whole pitch, is I'm going to go somewhere where they bring quality athletes in who transfer in, who are, maybe not getting the fair opportunity that they deserve at another Power 5 institution, just giving you an opportunity to go play at a high level. And I think the biggest thing that these kids need to understand is NFL teams care about your film, not where you come from. And if you show that against quality opponents week in and week out, and you show that you're consistently getting better, then you're going to have an opportunity. And I think Fresno gives you every opportunity to be successful that you can. And it's really up to the player to make the decisions to be successful.
Just tons of great fans too. They fill that stadium up every week. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, for a Mountain West in a group of 5 school, that stadium is probably just as electric as 50% of the Pac-12 schools.
Easily.
I mean, it's better than Wazoo. It's better than Cal. It's more electric than UCLA. SC probably not anymore, but Stanford for sure. Arizona.
It's a slept-on school, and the offense, and we could go on for a little bit more, but offensive side of the ball, I think it's a terrific program. Rip, that's a great question. I think any youngsters should dig in a little bit more and look into Fresno State. I think it's a slept-on sleeper school for putting out great athletes, man.
Yeah, it gives everybody an opportunity in that offense to make plays, and puts the quarterback in a really good position to learn and grow. And if you got players on the outside, that system allows you to exploit different defenses and get the ball in the playmaker's hand.
And the real evidence is just take a look at the New Orleans Saints roster. You got yourself and Mr. Derek Carr over there. Both took that same route. So yeah, great answer. Thanks for that. And everyone can go follow Jake at Jake Haener on Instagram. You can find him in New Orleans for the foreseeable future. Jake, congrats on living out your dream, man. We love to watch the journey. Best of luck throughout the rest of this year. And thank you again for coming on with the One Star Recruits, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you to the Saints PR team. Thank you to Jake. He did pretty well at rookie minicamp. We caught him 2 days, I believe, before he actually left to New Orleans, set off for minicamp. He showed up ready to play. Rip, that's what I'm reading about.
He must have held off on those beignets. I know he said he was going to have to try one down there this weekend. Hopefully wait until after minicamp, because those things can affect your performance for sure.
Indeed. Making me hungry, though. It's what time is it? It's right around brunch time here in the beautiful state of Hawaii. I want to talk NBA, Rip. I want to move us over to NBA. First and foremost, listeners, we're Phoenix Suns fans. We're originally from the 602, Rip and I wouldn't call us diehards, Rip, but we have a lot of listeners who are diehards in Phoenix. I think we are realists when it comes to our basketball team. It comes from being raised there and not really having a history of winning. Comes from some tough playoff losses over the last 20 years, some tough losses over the last 5 years. I'm hearing a lot of this new owner syndrome, really what's happening. And I don't know if this is true or not. I seem to like what Matt Ishbia is doing. I talked about it on the last podcast about his energy, his want to win, his want to spend money, his drive to hang banners is what it is. New owner syndrome is when it's hard in the beginning. So you got to make some hard decisions. I think that's happening now. The Suns lost. They're booted. We have a lot of decisions to make with a couple older players that really don't have a lot of options as far as moving them in ways that make tons of sense. And then the new owner syndrome kicked in fully when head coach Monty Williams was fired after that loss. So Rip, here we are. We've secured an amazing asset in Kevin Durant. We're very excited about that. He's locked in 2 years. Devin Booker's got 2 more years left in his contract. Head coach opening. Doc Rivers just got fired this morning from the 76ers. We got to do a head coach, Rip, and you got to add maybe 1 or 2 pieces. What are you thinking?
There's a lot of talk about retreads, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Doc Rivers, Ty Lue, a bunch of these guys possibly ending up in Phoenix. And I want to throw a name out there. DK was one of our first guests. He's 82 years old now, but I'd love to see Larry Brown down in Phoenix. I don't know what you think about that. He pulls guys together. At this point, DK, seriously, I
don't even think that's serious, Rip. He's too old. I don't even think that's serious. Is it?
I'm half serious and half not. I mean, it's obviously not going to happen, but I'm trying to remove myself from the situation of being a hardcore fan now, because it just leads to so much disappointment, DK. I mean, KD doesn't look the same to me. We're stuck with him for 2 or 3 more years. Who knows what's going to happen with Chris Paul? All these other teams are kind of passing us by with their younger cores, and I don't know. I just don't know, DK. I don't know what the future looks like for the Suns. It feels a little over the top to me with Ishbia and all the headlines in the past few months since he's become owner. So I'm a little weary of him trying to make too many big splashes and it just turning out to be a disaster, which it kind of looks like it could be headed that way. So like I said, I'm kind of trying to not invest myself too much and just kind of watch from the side.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. There's some good young guys. I think what we're seeing with Boston, with the ability to plug in a younger head coach to kind of morph with the team that's there. I don't think the Suns are there either. I wish the Suns were in the Victor Wembanyama. He would be the piece. He's the missing piece. I think a lot of the problems like that center position. To be successful in the NBA, the same was true in 1970, believe it or not, Rip. It's true today. You still need a top-notch point guard, and you need a top-notch center. The icing on the cake's shooting guards and shooting now in the NBA. That's the icing on the. That stuff's great. That's what's gonna get in the stat sheets. That's what's gonna make the headlines on ESPN. But what's gonna win championships at the end of the day is defense, ball movement, camaraderie. And for me, center is such an important position, and DeAndre Ayton is not it. I know we locked him up. He's here. I think Chris Paul is going to be the piece that's going to have to be moved sooner than later. Unfortunately, it looks like a world where the only pieces to kind of do that are guys that aren't going to be great fits, guys like Kyrie Irving. I don't think KD is going to re-sign up for that one. I don't think that's a great situation. We have Portland. We'll talk about it here in a second with the draft lottery coming up and where Wembanyama is going to end up. So a lot of guys on Portland, Rip, that I think can help the Phoenix Suns. Anthony Simons, Dame Lillard for Chris Paul. Is there a package to be seen in there? Dame would be the optimal guy. I don't know how Ishbia works the money situation up that way or whatnot, but I see something happening in that Portland realm. But a lot of it depends on what happens in the draft lottery this week and in the draft, because we're at a generational situation with a generational player. A couple guys we've had on the pod, the Thompson twins, are going to be very good too. Sky's the limit for guys like that. It's not a one and done draft, but all the attention's on Victor Wembanyama. Mom, he's 7'5". He's French. He plays like Kevin Durant on tape, but also can defend like Joel Embiid. He's a little bit scary. We haven't really seen a human being like this since 2001, since LeBron was drafted, Rip. You know the lottery numbers, Rip. You got a team that's going to hit them lottery balls. It's coming up tomorrow, I believe.
It's tonight, DK. It's Tuesday night, 8:00 Eastern, 5:00 Pacific, 2:00 your time. So be sure. I already got it down. I'm gonna watch it with my son. It's like you said, it's the most anticipated draft lottery since the LeBron one. What was that? 20 years ago. So I'm excited to see where he goes. We've been talking about it almost every episode for the past month or so. And yeah, I mean, here I got the odds right here. There's 3 teams with a 14% chance of grabbing him. It's Detroit, Houston, and San Antonio. We talked a little bit about that last episode. You would like to see him in Detroit. I believe he's going to end up in San Antonio, but we can't predict a lottery, DK. But I think the interesting ones come with Portland and Orlando, because Portland has a 10.5% chance and Orlando has a 9% chance. If either of those teams can move in there and get this guy, could you imagine him with Dame? I mean, that would revitalize the Blazers franchise, because they've had Dame forever and not really gone far in the playoffs. There's always talk about him getting traded, but he's a hero up there. He's been there forever. Adding Wemby to that lineup would be amazing. So I'd like to see that. And then just for selfish reasons, my son is a huge Orlando Magic fan. They just had the number 1 pick last year with Banchero. Turned out to be a great pick. A lot of young guys, 2 good young point guards, and yeah, him down there would be amazing as well. So I'm excited to see a DK.
Worst place he could end up, probably Houston. Placed as a firebomb right now. I don't think anybody wants to be there. Udoka has his work cut out for him. I know Tillman Fertitta's a pretty good owner who spends money and is down, but it seems like a place. I mean, but then I say it, Rip. They had Hakeem, they have Yao Ming, 2 foreign-born centers who are Hall of Famers after going number 1 by the Rockets. I guess they do have a pedigree to do it. I love the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, what better landing spot with Greg Popovich? We saw what he did with Tim Duncan. We saw what he did with David Robinson. Imagine if he has one more go at it. What a story. It's a storybook, kind of. That's a NBA storybook. Victor Wembanyama to San Antonio. Also a great city to probably land on, because you focus on hoop, maybe a little bit of Tex-Mex, but mostly hoop. And then Detroit. I think Detroit might have some pretty big odds too. I don't have it up in front of me, but I think Detroit's there. And that's a situation where I think basketball-wise he'll be successful, but it will take some more time. From the NBA development from an NBA picture, development of the league, and excitement, and where he could land that would shake things up the most, that would make me most excited to yell it from the rooftops and say, "Holy shit!" This man somehow got his card pulled and ended up as a Dallas Maverick with Luka. This foreign team they're assembling, and this situation with Kyrie, this worldwide team coming to the city of Dallas, and Victor's everything that we thought he could be offensively and defensively with Luka Rip. Holy shit. That's kind of exciting. So my sleeper pick would be Dallas. I think most exciting. I'm going to put my best case scenario for this young guy to be in San Antonio as a San Antonio Spur.
That's a 1-star take on Dallas. They have a 3% chance at the top pick, so probably not going to happen, but you never know. I mean, there would be some crazy conspiracy theories if that does happen with the ping pong balls, but the bottom line is we're about to find out. Everyone's been talking about this for at least a year, and he's an exciting prospect, DK. So wherever he lands is going to change the landscape of that franchise for a long time. We're excited to find out.
You believe we're still doing fucking ping pong balls? Is that I mean, it's 2023. Should we be doing a different draft strategy that's more transparent?
It's crazy. Someone, I think Woj tweeted this morning, could you imagine your entire career and the next 5 to 10 years of your life is based on 3 ping pong balls? It's insane. And but it works. It somehow works. I think this one's going to get really good ratings for the show. I'm excited to watch it. I'll be tuned in. And it's one of those things that it still works, DK.
Let's go. Let's do our 1-star moments of the week, man. We all have them, listeners. We just all don't talk about them. We're going to talk about them. Rip, what's your 1-star moment of the week?
Man, I had one of those. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and my wife's always trying to get them to learn how to wipe their own butts. So this is kind of a PSA for parents with even younger kids. Shout out to Onik in the Bay Area, and also Andrew Rossi with pretty much newborns. The PSA is that it's not just a year or two where you're wiping butts and getting poop on your fingers, but like I said, I have a 6 and 4-year-old. It happened this week. I'm still helping my 4-year-old wipe his butt, and he had a soft poop, and I got in there and with some wipes and ended up with some poop on my hand. So that was my 1-star moment of the week. It was a little messy one, and yeah, it just does not end after a year or two. It's something you're going to be dealing with for 5-6 years, unless you have a child prodigy at wiping their butt and can teach them really early. That's my 1-star moment of the week.
We've resorted back to poo on our 1-star moments. Commonality. When we need it, we can rely on poo stories, Rip. And poo, tell them young fathers, it's going to keep coming. Although just like the ping pong balls develop, can't humans develop in this realm with a bidet, Rip? Can't you get a child bidet in the room, show them how to use it, problem completely solved? I know they sell child bidets.
That's a great question. I don't know if maybe over in like France or somewhere in Europe, they're teaching their kids the bidet early on, but maybe it's something we need to bring to the States. Again, shout out to Onik and Andrew with Shooting 2 podcast. Maybe you guys can be some pioneers of adding a bidet to your toddler's lifestyle and see if it works. It'll save you years. It'll save you years of wipes and wiping poops. So yeah, it's worth a shot.
Worth a shot. Child bidet, get on it early. For me, I had a kitchen explosion. Once again, I'm a big smoothie guy. We discuss it. Put together a smoothie this week. Everything was going well. Went to go get a glass. I had to do a quick rinse of the glass to get a clean for my smoothie to be poured in it. Turned my head must have been for 20 seconds. I didn't do a full loosen on the NutriBullet. On the NutriBullet, you got to loosen the bottom, or you got to tighten the bottom. You don't do it full. It spins very fast. Never had it fully do this to me before, but this day must have been a quick 10-second turnaround. I turned my head back. It's loosened up. It's completely left the holder of the NutriBullet, and all of my smoothie has dipped into the container that is the NutriBullet and started coming out of the bottom. So it actually went through the insides, melted through the insides, and came out the bottom, which hasn't happened before. Lost about half my shake, which was a bummer. And then I did something new. I fully unplugged it. I might have ruined everything. I'll let you know next week. I'll give you an update. Fully unplugged it. Or if anybody has a NutriBullet, if they know, cleaned it out with a paper towel as well as I can, but it was still dripping smoothie through the thing, through the bottom. So I rinsed it in the sink all through with water, and it's been sitting out in my backyard getting sun for about 24 hours now. I'm going to retry it today. So wish me luck. But my 1-star moment was just not tightening the damn lid enough on the NutriBullet. Caused possibly a broken machine, huge mess. Hawaii is known for ants. Rib, you stayed here, you found ants in your room. Guess what? I think I have acai smoothie in between crevices of my linoleum now. That is going to be a new ant contact. So 10 seconds of not tightening and not paying attention might have equals $50 ants and no smoothies for a couple weeks. So fucking 1-star.
I don't think I've ever been able to relate to a 1-star moment of yours more than this, DK. I've been through 3 NutriBullets. They all have the same problem after a certain amount of time. I only keep buying them because they're cheap. They're like a fourth of the price of the Magic or the Ninja or whatever the hell it's called.
Yep.
So I keep buying them, and I know they're gonna last about a year, and then that exact thing's gonna happen. That's just the deal with NutriBullets. But yeah, I've had that same thing. You gotta let that motor dry out, hope it works again, and the one I have now is running on fumes. So yeah, it's 1-star, and it's gonna happen again.
We might need a new sponsor, so they hook us up every quarter with a new one. Just gotta pay attention.
1-star review. 1-star review for NutriBullet, but we still use it.
Yeah, we're still on it, man. We're still on it. Well, good stuff. Good 1-star rep. Great moments, Rip. Appreciate that. Let's do a quick little recommendation. Set this week off on fire for our listeners. Listeners would like to recommend anything that just simply made us smile this week. Rip, what hit you?
Well, this is a recommendation from comedian Adam Lamb, new TV show. It's called Jury Duty. It's available on Amazon Prime through an app called Freevee TV. It's one of those ad-supported networks, so you have to watch a few minutes of commercials. But it's Jury Duty. It's a documentary. I don't know if you've seen it, DK, but it's just a quick premise. It's all actors except for one guy, and they're in on a jury in a real courtroom in California, and they do a whole thing. They get sequestered, a trial, and like I said, everybody's in on it except for this one guy. It's hilarious. It's kind of shot like Office style, and it's that kind of humor. So if you like The Office, definitely check out Jury Duty on Freevee TV. Have you seen it, DK?
Nope. Sounds right up your alley. You have an attorney wife, so I'm sure that's a couples watch together. You would discuss the odds and ends of if that's true or not in the real court life. So I'm sure it's very engaging. Well done, Rip. Five stars, man. And you're doing date night. You're actually inspiration to me. My wife tried to get me into this ABC show where all these parents go and decide what style they are in parent raising, strict, freelance. Have you heard of it? Have you seen this show on ABC?
No.
So they pick these parents who all have these certain kinds of parenting techniques, and then they put their kids through all these things, and they actually pick which parenting technique is the best. There's 11, 12 couples with their kids, and they put their kids through all kinds of situations. Would your kid run away with your stranger? Would your kid steal? Would your kid do X and Y? And I could barely get into it, but I fought through, and turns out it's a great show. And now I'm into it, and it's something that I could watch with my wife, show that we could watch together. So I'm inspired by you, Rip. I'm going to get back into that with her, watch the end of it. I think you guys might be child-led. You think you're child-led parents, Rip? I think you might be child-led parents, possibly.
We're probably child-led. Our life revolves around them and everything they're doing. It's either child-led, or if there's something for like helicopter parents, that's probably what we are. It's called? ABCs of parenting, or what? ABC?
No, it's on ABC. I don't know the exact show. Google it. We'll get Winston on it. Do it quick. It's on ABC. It's a show about the best parenting out there. You should watch it if you haven't seen it. You guys would like it. I think you would be child-led, or you might be like the freestyle one, like the free thinkers a little bit. The way they let the kids figure out their emotions. I think you guys do it that way a little bit. Who knows? But you know what? Fuck it. That's my rec of the week. Can you look, Winston, real fast and get the name of that? We'll throw that up there. We'll both do TV recommendations of the week. It's inspiring, bro. While he's looking, man, let's do our weekly roundup. Hit the music, Rip. I got some questions about what's going on in the world. Everybody wants to know your thoughts. You have anything else for our fine listeners on this Jake Haener episode?
Winston got back to us. It's called The Parent Test. It's a TV show, a new reality TV show on ABC. Promises to throw confused parents a lifeline and identify their most effective parenting style. So it's The Parent Test on ABC. Everybody check it out. Good one, DK.
Parent Test. Yeah. Most of your parents are probably strict. A lot of people, when I was watching it, would fall into the strict brackets. So Interesting show. Hit the music, Rip.
Nick B. Is Nick B a strict one?
Nick B. Nick B is a helicopter. Helicopter, Nick B. And you know you are, bro. Hit that music. Let's see what do we got going on in the world. Your guy Rudy Giuliani, Rip, was sued by a former employee. Apparently, he was getting BJs under his desk while talking to presidents, friends of the government, and apparently he wanted to do his Bill Clinton moment, which was successful. Thoughts on Rudy Giuliani still even being a public figure?
He should be totally irrelevant by this point. I think when Sacha Baron Cohen had him in that movie and just embarrassed him, and all the Donald Trump stuff. Like I said, he's like a page 6 guy at this point. Just people making fun of him. But yeah, I'm not surprised by anything that guy does.
The Dallas Stars advanced to the NHL Finals against the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Thoughts on 2 desert Sunbelt teams being in the finals?
The South versus the desert, right? Just what the hockey inventors intended when they invented the sport. Yeah, I mean the Dallas Stars always seem like kind of an afterthought, just like a boring hockey franchise that never has any flashes or anything like that. But yeah, I mean to me the Panthers are. I think the Stars are actually the favorite, but the Panthers are the ones that knocked off the Bruins. That's my prediction. I think the Panthers are going to win it, DK.
Let's go. I'm gonna go with the Vegas Knights, the Golden Knights. Sorry, Trent. The Las Vegas Golden Knights. What a terrible name. Apparently, they're just in the playoffs or winning this thing every year since they've hopped in. So we'll give it to them. Last one, Rip. Last one. John Morant facing a lengthy suspension. Is he done?
I don't think so. I think there's a spot for him in Phoenix, DK. That's the hot take. And if the Suns can pry him away from Memphis might give him away at this point. I think there's something to be said for moving Chris Paul to Memphis and bringing Ja to us. If Ishbia wants to make another big splash, I think that would be the one. He'll definitely get some backlash for it, but honestly, even if he's suspended for a half a season, which it might happen, or even a full season, it's probably worth it because he's super young, and if he can stop flashing guns on Instagram, he's got a bright future ahead of him.
He's got a bright future, Rip. We appreciate you, listeners. Big shout out. Hop on 500 level for all NFL gear. They have the rookies who were just drafted. We have tons of playoff gear coming out for the hot playoff teams. Who knows? Maybe you're maybe you just like nuggets. Maybe you like chicken nuggets. Maybe you like wheat nuggets. Have nuggets on a shirt. Show up to your group of friends with a Joker shirt, a Jokic shirt. You'll shock them. Use code ONESTAR, save a little bit of money. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.